I just want to add one more video here to kind of explain the discourse that's happening with the Baker Mayfield injuries that everyone's going to learn about a little bit more when the Netflix documentary comes out tomorrow, season 3 of Quarterback. So we knew that Baker Mayfield was significantly injured last year, right? We have injury reports that showcase that. And some of these injuries Baker Mayfield found out after the fact and a little hindsight bias when doing these interviews. So you're not really knowing some of this stuff in live time. Yes, some of it he did. You know, the knee stuff, I don't think he understood the extent of it until later down the road. Having said that, there are plenty of quarterbacks in this league that fight through a ton of injuries, stuff that Baker was going through. Now, do they have to fight through the accumulation of it all? The fact that Baker had the knee thing, the shoulder thing, the biceps thing, the oblique thing. Yeah, I think there were a bunch of manageable injuries that were accumulating over time, which may have affected him towards the end of the season as to why he wasn't able to be Superman anymore. But I don't think it was anything that was more reckless than any other quarterback out there. He wasn't playing with any broken bones, a torn ligament. It wasn't anything like that. You're going to see kind of the physio stuff that happens the day after a game where he has someone work on his body and it gets him right. In hindsight, where there may be a couple of games in there where he could have sat out and allowed the backup to play, probably. But if you're a fan out there, do you prefer Baker Mayfield or Teddy Bridgewater? We saw what Teddy Bridgewater looked like in the second half of that LA game. And I give Teddy a break because there was a lot going on for him that week. The fact that he even got out there for the game was impressive enough. But still, like, the Bucs didn't really have a viable backup QB, and Baker did the best that he could to get out there, and it wasn't so detrimental to the point where it was going to let down his teammates. Maybe he wasn't as good, but he was still good enough. And that's what I think that the people in that locker room would have wanted. So he's a dog. Baker's going to be Baker. And I think some of the conversation around this maybe being a bit hyperbolic compared to what other QBs in the league go through constantly throughout a season. But yeah, I think you're going to have some perspective here once it's released. And just reminder, the documentary is not going through Josh Grizzard or the amount of injuries the Buccaneers were having around Baker Mayfield. It is focused about Baker. The show is called Quarterback, so it's going to be very singularly focused. But when talking about why 2025 went so poorly, there are a lot of reasons why it happened. We're just getting it through the lens of Baker. So just keep that in mind as you do watch this and understand as we contextualize last year to this year. And it goes well beyond Baker being banged up.